So I get on the phone with my sister and she tells me that the present that mum and dad received because I sent a present to dad, they spent 20 to 30 minutes laughing at it and that you're shit and you should do better and it's pathetic. And I burst out crying. Like I actually can't hold it. Welcome to day 4 of getting fat to shredded. This happened to me yesterday, and the biggest lesson to learn here is your emotions while going on a deficit, while going through a cut, is going to be the thing that either makes or breaks you, and how you actually physically deal with that emotion. I thought a couple of days ago that we had just had Father's Day. I still didn't know what to get my dad for Father's Day, and I live in a separate city to Dad. I've just visited him, we just spent a bunch of time together, and he's got his birthday coming up, and usually he's a man that you can't really buy stuff for because he's already bought it himself. So it's not about stuff, it's about sentimental stuff. Lately, I know that my dad has been eating ice cream, and he's been eating ice cream for close to the last year. He's never eaten sugar or any sweets at all, and for the first time in his life, for the last year, he's been enjoying ice cream. So much so that whenever we go out anywhere, or whenever I see him, he's usually having ice cream. So, in Russian, dad is papa. So, I saw this cool, while I was scrolling through the internet, saw this cool long soda spoon, ice cream spoon, that said Papa's Ice Cream Shovel. So it wasn't even a Father's Day present. I was like, you know what? I'd love to send you this. So I sent it to him, said as a gift, hey Dad, hope you enjoy this. Love, your son. Cool, right? And then I got news yesterday. Now the news was, that they laughed at it. He doesn't even eat ice cream anymore. It's such a shit present. And I'm already edgy. I'm already not eating a lot of calories. I've removed carbohydrates, and carbohydrates actually release serotonin. Let me repeat that. Serotonin is a happy chemical, and serotonin is released when you have a bit of carbohydrates. If you think about it, our bodies are designed in a way that it needs to give us positive reinforcement when we're doing something good. So when we eat carbohydrates out in the wild, or food out in the wild, your brain will release a little bit of serotonin, a little bit of happy chemicals, almost telling you to, keep going. You're doing the right thing. So I have removed carbohydrates, meaning I'm not getting any happy chemicals. I'm in a deficit. I'm edgy. And I'm only my body's learning to sort of slowly burn through the fat because it doesn't have carbohydrates on me. And I received a piece of information that was upsetting. On a normal set, it's upsetting, and, I can deal with it separately. But on this very moment, I probably only had about 600 calories, and it's 7, 8 p.m. now. And my emotions couldn't handle it, and I end up shedding a tear. More than a tear, like a lot of a tear. And I noticed for myself that instantly when I went to experience that emotion, my immediate was, now I'm just going to go to the supermarket, let me get some more calories, and I'll write off the day, and I'll start again tomorrow. Many years ago, that would have been me. That would have actually been me many years ago. And a lot of people experience this. We experience a heightened sense of emotion, and then we go, you know what? I want some happy, feel-good chemicals. Or I don't want to feel stressed anymore, and we'll look at de-stressing anything. Instead, what I realized is a lot of the time when you're dieting, or a lot of us overeating, is actually using food as drugs by just increasing our happy chemicals. Something sad happens, we increase our happy chemicals by getting carbohydrates, sugar, things that make us feel good. They make us feel good because they're designed to release that chemical. So instead, I just sat with it. I let the tears happen. I drank some water. I said, you know what, let's go for a bit of a walk. And then I came back and I said, I can't deal with this right now. What I mean by deal with it is I can't deal with this emotion right now. I experienced the emotion. It was the evening, but I was still in the emotion itself. I was still feeling the emotion. It had still some sort of upset. It still had some sort of pull. And I'm a person that likes to action stuff really quickly, like, solve it. I need it out of my space, no matter what. But instead, I said, you know what? I have this emotion right now. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it exist. It doesn't need to do anything for me. And then instead, I will deal with it tomorrow. So today I woke up, very simple. I was able to go, you know what? Let's call Dad. Turned out it was all okay. He had just recently stopped eating ice cream. It wasn't sad. It was more just gave him a laugh. That's it. They didn't know because it was an out of character thing for me just to send gifts to them without even asking them if they wanted or not. Simple. Yesterday night, it felt very, very real for me. And what I found over time is that whenever an emotion feels really real, whether it be hunger, sadness, upset, edge, whatever you're going through while cutting or while dieting, let the emotion be. It is temporary. And at a time when you feel not in the emotion, trust yourself that you'll be able to deal with it. I've let everybody know that I'm on a very extreme cut. Again, to reiterate, what I'm doing is not for the faint-hearted and not what I recommend at all. What we recommend psychologically is to organize a diet that is the easiest for you to do. For me, some of the easiest diets to do, or the easiest cut at the moment to do, is to do in a short period of time. I'm very busy. I run lots of businesses, social media, lots of things. We have a best-selling book, author, Amazon pages, books. We've got it all. So I find short periods of time where, for the last year, I really have gained some weight. Now I've got a short period of time and I can just organize a cut and then be done with it. But because I'm organizing it so intensely, I'm almost on a 2,000 to 3,000 calorie deficit per day. 2,000 to 3,000 calorie deficit per day. What that means is roughly every 3 days, I lose a kilogram of fat, or almost 2 pounds of fat every 3 days. A lot of the things that I'm doing with my diet are optimized specifically for that because there's a lot of nutrients that I'm not getting, so I'm supplementing them. But the higher the deficit is, and why I'm telling you this, the higher the deficit, the higher the stress, the less happy chemicals, the more anything happens that's emotional can get you and then make you break your diet or start eating again. So a lot of it psychologically is just, cool, I was able to be with it, sit with it, be like, it's okay, and move on to the next. It's that simple. It doesn't need to be rocket science. You don't need to make it a big thing. That's all it is. So day 4, from fat to shredded, officially clicked over, no happy chemicals, clicked over, we're burning fat for fuel primarily because I'm not eating carbohydrates. And we've lost 2 to 3 kilos in the first 4 days. A lot of that is water that has left the carbohydrates, but I'll tell you that in one of the new videos. And I want to remind you, I'm doing this series, if you're new here, I'm doing this series every single day of what it takes to get from this rig here, so this rig here, right here, this rig, I'm going to get from this rig, I'll show you in one of my next videos or a previous video, the full state of the rig, from this rig here to absolutely shredded. What it actually takes every day, so you can see my emotions change, you can see my intensity change, you might even be able to see my personality change. Because what people don't realize is a 10 kilo less, lighter version of you, or a 10 kilo version heavier of you feels different, looks different, and no one really talks about it. No one talks about it, that it is different. How you feel, how you are, is actually different. So the biggest thing is, previous Andrew would have let his emotion dictate and break my diet. New Andrew realizes emotion comes up. When the emotion comes up, just let it exist until such time, maybe even you need to sleep like I did, you calm down and then be able to deal with it and still be able to stay on track on your diet. So things that usually before wouldn't stress you more when you're in a calorie deficit. So that's day 4. Day 4, going strong. We're going to be done in 6 to 7 weeks. Every day, follow along. Hope you're well. Hope you got something from this. Much love. Peace.